Welcome to Never Hate Gaming. In today's video, I will be showing you my Tank Support Doram build, which I mainly use for PvP and GVG. Attributes. First off, let's talk about attributes. As a tank, you will need a lot of HP, which is why you need to max out Vit first, and then distribute the rest to Agi, Int, and Dex. Agi will give us additional flee to dodge enemy skills. Int will increase our SP pool, which we will need to spam our skills and buffs. This will also increase the healing properties of our shrimp skills. Dex will give us more hit to land our skills on our enemies. And more importantly, Dex will reduce the casting time of our skills. Stats. Next that I will show you is the details of my build. I currently have 1.1 million HP. More HP is good, but we need to balance this out with our reductions. I will just be highlighting the important parts, but if you want to see the finer details, you may pause the video as you like. For my physical attributes, I was able to raise my damage reduction to 98.8%. On my magic attributes, my magic reduction sits at 83.8%. You may also increase your crowd control resistances, but I chose not to because of my choice of equipment, which I will show you later on. It is advisable to increase your elemental resistance, which will help you tank a bit more when combined with your high HP pool. Handbook. Before we move on to my equipment, let's look at my handbook first. My max HP deposit is 45,000 and attack deposit at 1,940. I will just be scrolling through this. Again, if you think I am scrolling too fast, feel free to pause the video. Let's now move on to my equipment. For my offhand, my choice of equipment is a plus 12 giant armor shield with 3.5% damage reduction. This item gives a lot of elemental resistance, especially with higher refinement. You may focus on damage reduction or tenacity enchants for this slot. An alternative to this item would be a meteorite buckler, which will provide you with more HP. I am using a Lud Star card for my offhand slot because it gives me a ton of magic reduction. At plus 12, it gives 25% magic reduction in total. Your other card choices will be Golden Thief Bug card, Senia card, and Snake Demon Gorgon card. On my armor, I am using a plus 10 God's Blessing, which gives us a total of 22% max HP. This is the best armor for tanky Dorams in my opinion. It has 2.1% damage reduction enchant. The best enchant we can hope for is percent max HP. For my armor card, I am using a Remis card for HP and to annoy my enemies with Venom Dart procs. Other card options will be Ghost Ring card, the Tartarus Star card, Grandma Wolf card, and Garm card. If you are tight on the budget, Thara Frog card and Peko Peko card works just as fine. For the garment, I am using plus 10 Advanced Survivor's Mantu with 9.6% max HP enchant. This item gives a total of 10% max HP when upgraded to tier 8. If you are not aiming for resist enchantments, percent max HP and Divine Blessing enchants are the way to go. You can choose that cat cape for your garment, but this works well with my weapon choice, which I will be explaining to you shortly. I slotted this with Eclipse Star card for more HP. You may slot this with Orc Zombie Star card first until you can replace it with Eclipse Star card. Deviling Star card is also great for Dorams, especially if you can pair it with Ghost String card, which I can't, unfortunately. For foot gear, I believe a plus 10 high fashion sandals is the best in-slot equipment. I have 3.7% damage reduction for my enchant, but it will be better if I get Divine Blessing for additional magic reduction. For the foot gear card, I am using Tesseract card for the juicy plus 25% max HP. Fierce card is your budget-friendly option, but Edgar Star card will be the endgame card for this slot. For my first accessory, I am using a plus 10 Bright Moon, mainly because I have Tenacity 4 enchant here, which gives me 10% damage reduction. The SP regeneration rate is a nice bonus, especially for us who spam skills as much as we can. The best card for accessories will be the Osiris Star card. But for now, I am using a Fisherman card because I cannot afford it. I consider Fisherman card as the best accessory card, pound for pound. It gives 5% damage reduction and 10% freeze resist at just around 700,000 Zenny. My second accessory card is a plus 6 Luna Brooch with Tenacity 4 enchant, slotted with Fisherman card. Other accessories you might want to try are Ring of Immortality, Original Will Talisman, or Survival Ring. My weapon choice is a plus 10 Stardust Dragon Staff with 24.3% stun resist enchant. For Tank Support Dorams, this should be your weapon choice. This gives 10% healing increase and 10% MDef at Refine level 10 on top of 15% max HP. When this is equipped with the Advanced Survivor's Mantle, you can get up to 20% damage reduction. You heard it right, 20% damage reduction. The enchant that you should go for on your weapon is Tenacity to bulk up your damage reduction even more. I am using 2 Meta Ant-Egg cards for a total of 10% extra max HP. If you have the budget, Spashire Star card would be the best to have. Let's now move on to my headgears. I am using plus 6 Carousel Dream with Vit plus 7 and 2.5% damage reduction. Damage reduction is the way to go for headgears, but you may also get Armor Enchant for extra critical resist. This gives me 8% HP plus a chance to put enemies to sleep when they are attacking me. This headgear is good against auto attackers like Stellar Hunters. You may also try Black Goat's Fury or plus 10 Corsair if you are F2P. For my face headgear, I am using plus 6 Japanese Dragon Noodle, which gives me 16% skill damage reduction. I currently have 6.9% crit def enchant, but the best enchant would be healing increase, healing received, and free enchants. Alternatives to this item are Royal Prestige, which gives 5% max HP and elemental damage reductions, and Goblin Leader Mask, which gives 30% demi-human damage reduction. I am using a plus 6 Kraken Treasure Key, which gives 8% max HP, and an additional 5% damage reduction to all race for my mouth headgear. I currently have Armor 1 enchant, which gives 5 crit resist, but I hope to change this into damage reduction. An alternative to this item is a plus 10 pipe, which gives 10% max HP. Snowstorm Wings is the best back item in my opinion. This item gives Vit plus 5 and 5% max HP right off the bat. But the best reason why you should get this item as a tank is its effect. You get to reflect abnormal statuses that you received when under attack. Abnormal statuses include poison, bleed, burn, stun, and freeze. This is a good item to have, especially when going in portals during War of Imperium. I only have 4% healing received enchant on it right now, and I hope to turn it into % max HP to tank even more. For my tail item, MDef Fairy gives 1% magic reduction and 2% stun resist for every refinement level. I currently have 7.9% max HP enchant, which I think is nice, but getting the Blasphemy 4th enchant will be better, as it gives additional skill damage reduction. With that, I have finished discussing my item choices and we will go over to my skill build. I will just be scrolling through my skills and highlight the important ones. First off, Stealthed is your invisibility skill. With good positioning, you can do a lot while being under invis. Beware though, as getting near to enemies will break your invis automatically. For your spiritualist skills, you need to max your tuna stake as it is your burst healing skill. You will need a third line on your fresh tuna rune to be able to use it on yourself. Taru Trauma is also a good skill to annoy your enemies. When paired with a good rune, you can trigger Biting Scar, which makes your enemies lose 3% HP for 5 seconds. Never mind the damage, the HP loss is already good in itself. When you turn into a summoner, Tuna Party is your priority. This gives an HP shield based on the max HP of the target. You will need at least 6 levels on the skill to be able to use it on yourself. Max out your Oceanic Power, as it gives 30% healing increase and 10% damage and magic reduction. Life Power gives you 20% max HP at max level. Night Vision is a night's utility skill that will reveal pesky invisible enemies before they can burst you down. A third job, you need to max out Rumble, which will be your party debuff skill. With good runes on your Acer Monument, you can remove up to 2 negative effects on your party. Get at least 1 dried lifesaver fish, which is your anti-death skill. Most importantly, you need to max out Ocean Soul, which greatly increases all your support capabilities. As for the fourth job, veteran players will find it easy to max out all the skills. But for newer players, I would suggest that you start with the Concentric Sea Spirit, then Dolan Trick, Concentric Life, Evil Cat Roar, and last but not the least, Shark Fellow. Shark Fellow will be your main damage skill. Your job is to focus on supporting your teammates first and then use Shark Fellow when you can. Acer. As for the Acer Monument, I won't be discussing everything, since it will be a very long video in itself. But let me tell you about the important ones. Focus on healing increased runes, max HP increased runes, Vit, Dex, and Int runes. Runes that improve your Tuna Party, Stoop, Groom, and Rumble skills are to be valued highly. Prioritize the 5 no entry runes, as it gives you a crowd control skill that roots enemies who are unlucky enough to step on them. You may use this skill to land your Shark Fellow skill for high damage output. For my advanced runes, I have trouble making Taru. It would be better to have a higher value on the second line to increase the chance of triggering Biting Scar. My next rune is Secret Game Rune. You need to unlock the third line in order to stay invis, even when attacking. You can potentially unload all your skills without being seen with this rune. Life Bond Star is a good rune to have, but not so important. I only have this because of the third line, which makes the Life Concentric Illusion use your skill twice. Imagine using Evil Cat Roar with the Life Concentric skill triggered. You will be dashing out 3 waves of remove buff skills with silence on the first target. This is good when the enemies are packed up in one place. Next is the Fresh Tuna rune. You need to unlock the 3rd line to use Tuna Stake on yourself. This is your life-saving skill, especially when diving stacks as your guild's frontliner. Next is the Flying Frisbee rune. I use the UFO skill mainly as a deterrent. Most people wouldn't go under UFO, so you can use this to funnel enemies into a certain part of the map that will be advantageous for you. It will be best to unlock the 2nd line for additional negative buff to your enemies. My last rune is Seafood rune. As a support, you need higher values on both 1st and 3rd lines. Otherwise, get higher marks for the 2nd line. Attack runes don't really do much for me. On the other hand, the Spell Death, Element Death, and Magic Crusher rune contributes a lot to make me tankier. For my buff runes, I am using Vit, Agi, and Dex. There you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video and even learned a thing or two. We discussed my attributes, equipment, skills, Acer Monument, and advanced runes. Hopefully, this video gave you an idea or two on how to build your own Tank Support Doram. If you have comments, questions, clarifications, or other video ideas that you want me to upload, please let me know through the comment section down below. Or message me in-game at neverhitallm, and I will be happy to respond. Now that you've reached the end of the video, please like or share this video to let others know of the ideas I shared with you. Please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the notification bell to be updated of my future videos.